He's won the Maui tournament 3 times, once with Kansas, twice here. Would love to add another tournament championship here tonight. Greg Gard, second season as Wisconsin head coach, took over in December of last year for Bo Ryan. The Badgers going to the Sweet 16 last year. All 5 starters and their top 10 players in terms of minutes played last year are back with Wisconsin this year. It's a small gym, 2,800 people, and it is absolutely packed. Half blue, half red, and we're underway here in Maui.
Wisconsin starting out in man-to-man. Zach Showalter on Joel Berry. And this is a great matchup. Justin Jackson and Nigel Hayes. Jackson, an underrated player nationwide.
The heels go to Isaiah Hicks, a little bit strong on the jump hook.
And you don't see Isaiah Hicks miss that very often, but no, North Carolina immediately going inside.
Koenig the kick. Nigel Hayes for 3. And the ball comes down to Berry.
And Nigel Hayes really struggled from the field in the semifinals against Georgetown. Went 2 for 9, only had 6 points. He has got to have a better game against North Carolina.
Made all 3 of his threes in the quarterfinal matchup. There's Happ with a rejection. What a good play to stop Jackson.
Long arms, great timing, and great feet by Ethan Happ.
Happ coming off a 19-point, 15-rebound effort last night against Georgetown.
He had guarded by Kennedy Meeks. Lets the double team clear.
Koenig from the corner.
Well, that hit the backboard first, didn't it?
Opportunities for both teams, but still scoreless. Into Meeks, the senior from Charlotte, breaks the ice.
That was a nice screen by Justin Jackson. A little diagonal up screen that gave Kennedy Meeks just that little bit of space. He didn't get an angle to the basket, but that turnaround jumper, he's got a nice soft touch. Every Carolina big guy's got a turnaround jumper and a jump hook. Some of them more.
Happ double team, finds the open man. Brown the extra pass to Showalter. Good ball movement. Hayes open for 3 and missed it. 0 for 2 from beyond the arc in the early going.
When 5 white shirts were on the glass, that's impressive for a defensive rebound. North Carolina not starting their break until they finish their defensive possession with a rebound.
Wisconsin with 20 offensive rebounds against Georgetown last night as Jackson misses the 3. Hayes secures the loose ball.
Boy, one of the first times I've seen Joel Berry not be the quickest guy to the ball. I thought he would get that. Instead it was Nigel Hayes.
Quick move by Happ. Bothered by Meeks. Ball still loose, and it belongs to Carolina.
A great move by Happ, but a better block from behind by Kennedy Meeks.
Berry. And loses it out of bounds. So just 1 basket so far, 2.5 minutes in, and what a significant basket it is for Kennedy Meeks. I'm surprised. I'm actually stunned they're not stopping the game and having some kind of a moment as he passes Jay Billis.
Well, look at, I'm just mesmerized by the gun show, and look at that salad up top. Oh, that is the benchmark of a great career.
That's
to be
true.
over 1,000 points.
That's true. So congratulations to Kennedy Meeks. 2-0 Carolina, 2.5 minutes in.
Mentioned in the same sentence as Jay Billis, huh? That Kennedy Meeks. He's way better than Jay Billis. That's how you get mentioned.
Turnaround Koenig. Both teams getting some pretty good looks, but not much falling right now.
Well, I don't think that Wisconsin is a great shooting team. I think North Carolina is a better shooting team.
Wide open Jackson. And he misses the 3. Hicks on the glass, out of bounds to Carolina.
But Bronson Koenig is shooting under 40% from 3 in the mid-30s. And really Nigel Hayes hasn't hit a lot of perimeter shots to start the year. I think he's got to mix his game up and go inside in addition to his perimeter game.
One guy to keep an eye on from the perimeter for Carolina is this guy right here, Kenny Williams. He is shooting the ball well this season.
He is a very good. Another steal. You have got to pass away from the defense, not to the offense. A mistake by Justin Jackson.
And that's Ethan Happ, who last year as a freshman led the Big Ten in steals, and he's averaging almost 2 steals per game so far this season. One-on-one with Meeks. And Meeks bothered him enough to prevent Happ from scoring.
One thing that Ethan Happ does not do right now, he doesn't go straight up very often. That was a great job to break contact and get around in front. And here was the block as he moved his feet to stay right with Justin Jackson as he was angled out toward the corner to try to kiss that off the glass.
Alex Ilikainen, a 6'9" sophomore from Grand Rapids, has checked into the game now for Wisconsin. He takes the place of Vito Brown. Hicks on the block. Baseline turnaround will go. 4-0 Carolina.
Wisconsin's big guys do a great job of staying between their man and the basket. And twice now, first Kennedy Meeks and then Isaiah Hicks have hit those turnaround jumpers.
Wisconsin still can't get one to go. 4 minutes in, they're 0 for 7. Williams. And a good block out by Ilikainen, allowing Hayes to get that rebound.
There are going to be a lot of big-time blockouts in this game because Wisconsin fundamentally sound on the glass. They do not give up a ton of second shots, and they get a lot of second shots themselves. So you're going to have to guard this swing offense. Got a lot of principles of flex in it.
Happ switches hands and misses. Wisconsin 0 for 8.
He uses a ton of fakes, so you have to be prepared to stay on your feet and go up after he does in order to bother the shot. There's that wing ball screen in the secondary break. Good pass.
Deep position for Meeks. 6-0 Tar Heels.
They just keep coming at you. Had the little back pick by Justin Jackson, then reversed it. And went high-low. Good pass by Isaiah Hicks.
And the Carolina fans are on their feet here at the Lahaina Civic Center. Hayes.
That's a settle. Off one pass, that jump shot is a settle by Nigel Hayes.
Carolina liking to play inside out, but a travel there.
That's not a walk.
Hicks.
That's not a walk. Well, anytime you're playing North Carolina, you're going to have to deal with their big guys. And their big guys aren't just the type that are going to get an angle and get some power to the rim. They can step away and shoot turnaround jumpers, face up. But one of the reasons they're 0 for 9 is they've taken mostly jump shots, with the exception of getting the ball inside to Ethan Happ on 1, maybe 2 occasions. Everything else has been a jumper. And this is not necessarily a jump shooting team, at least a great jump shooting team. So they're going to have to get some things going to the basket. You can't just rely on jump shots against North Carolina. A 1-4 set now.
Charles Thomas IV into the game with the ball for Wisconsin. He checks in for the first time as Wisconsin turns it over. And freshman Tony Bradley, 6'11", 240 out of Bartow, Florida, has checked in now for Carolina. Greg Gard cannot be happy, and now he'll bring in Demetric Trice, the younger brother of former Michigan State guard Travis Trice, a guy who has settled into a pretty large role early in his career for the Badgers.
Yeah, he had a good game against Tennessee. Had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Not quite as good in the semifinals against Georgetown, but he knows how to play, and he's tough.
Bradley. Jump hook makes it 8-0. Bradley has played extremely well in this tournament.
He is going to be a big-time player. He's really good now. I mean, that doesn't look like a freshman move to me. That jump hook over his left shoulder, and he prefers his left shoulder for that hook, but he is so efficient, Tony Bradley. Excellent rebounder.
Thomas with a turnaround. Rebound down to Jackson.
Nice tip by Isaiah Hicks. He couldn't get it himself, so he tipped it to a teammate. Walk.
Well, might have a foul underneath. We do. We have a foul underneath going against Thomas of Wisconsin.
When Tony Bradley caught the ball, the first thing he did was look middle. Look to see if there was a double team coming. Thomas was not on the high side, and so he went right in the middle and was able to comfortably rise up for that jump hook and had a really good game in the semifinal against Oklahoma State. But he's had a good game in every game. Been double figures in every game.
Ethan Happ, Nigel Hayes check back in for the Badgers.
Good screen by Kenny Williams.
And Bradley back to that left shoulder again, this time a miss, and down with the rebound, Khalil Iverson, a sophomore from Delaware, Ohio, who was terrific. 10 points, 7 rebounds in the semifinal in 20 minutes off the bench yesterday against Georgetown.
Really not a ton of perimeter scoring on the floor right now for Wisconsin.
Iverson dribbles into trouble, finds Trice. Extra look in the corner for Hayes, and Wisconsin still can't get one to go. They're 0 for 11.
This is just not a great shooting Badger team. And Nigel Hayes has really struggled from the perimeter to start this season.
Hicks tries to power his way in, and it comes down to Iverson. Iverson had a big-time dunk and a big-time block among other great plays in the semifinal against the Hoyas.
This is where he needs to be, in the post, where he can do some more damage. Excellent passer as well.
Trice for three. Finally, something goes for the Badgers. And given how long it took them to score, they're fortunate, Jay, when you look at it, that North Carolina's only gotten 8 points in 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, North Carolina's had a number of opportunities inside that they haven't capitalized on.
Kenny Williams getting a lot more playing time because of the injury to Theo Pinson, out a couple more months with a broken foot. Williams off to a very good start this year. Barry behind a screen, knocks down a three.
Well, you go underneath. You might have been able to do that 2 years ago against Joel Berry. You can't do it now. He is having a great start to this season.
Came into the game shooting 45% from beyond the arc. And a travel.
How could he travel? He's dribbling.
Better than 8 minutes in, Wisconsin has made one basket. Joel Berry the second, knocking down the three and taking his career to new heights when we come back as he goes 94 feet with Jay Billis.
What an honor for Joel Berry.
These seats?
Too. He's got toughness. He's the whole package right now for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, and the answer was, when he scored 50 points, who was guarding you? Nobody.
Right.
He is a really good player. One of the best guards in the country.
Nate Britt with the ball into the game for the first time now for the Tar Heels. Will pull up and have that shot blocked.
Wisconsin really staying home on defense. They want the floor compact, and North Carolina wants the floor spread.
Hayes guarded by Meeks out on the perimeter. Koenig back into the game for the Badgers. Now Thomas over Bradley. Yes.
Well, finally, Wisconsin gets the ball inside. They've been taking mostly jump shots, and with Kennedy Meeks guarding Nigel Hayes, that is a matchup that Nigel Hayes can drive if he gets the opportunity, and he needs to do that.
Britt in the backcourt along with Barry. Now Meeks trying to back down Thomas. He'll go to the jump hook, leaves it a little short.
Boy, Wisconsin just makes you shoot over. They stay between you and the basket, and you're going to have to make tough shots and do it consistently. Good pass.
Hayes spinning baseline, called for the travel. Wisconsin has turned the ball over at an unusually high rate so far this season compared to recent Wisconsin teams.
They have, and you turned it over 15 times. If you're Wisconsin, it doesn't seem like a lot, but they're a team that doesn't have a ton of possessions in a game. They're more deliberate offensively. So it's really the turnover percentage. Their turnover percentage is really high.
It'll stay with Carolina, 14 on the shot clock. Both of these teams are good offensively. They're, in terms of offensive efficiency, which is points per 100 possessions, Wisconsin is 12th in the country at about 114 points per 100 possessions. Carolina's third at over 190. The difference is Carolina plays so much faster.
Yes.
They score so much more. This one is being played at a Wisconsin pace, but they're just not making any shots.
Wisconsin's turnover percentage. So percentage of their turnovers to possessions is about 21-22%. Now, to show you what that is, that's about 280th in the country. And that is not where Wisconsin usually is. They're usually in the top 10 in the country in turnover percentage.
Britt for three.
Don't like that shot. Just taken off a one pass that didn't make the defense move at all. Nate Britt has been playing so well at 12 points in the semifinals against Oklahoma State.
Vito Brown will knock down a three. The senior from Bowling Green, Ohio, with the Badgers back within three.
And what Wisconsin is expert at doing is they take North Carolina out of transition. They make this a 5-on-5 half-court game. And if North Carolina's not getting easy baskets, then they've got to grind it out. Little drag screen and transition. Brandon Robinson helps out, and he couldn't recover on the pick and pop. That's just really well executed in transition by Wisconsin.
Past the midway point of the first half in a very low-scoring game. Hicks over Brown, a little bit short, tipped up, no good. Meeks battling on the glass, loose ball down to Hayes.
Meeks may not be able to jump explosively high, but he gets off the feet 1, 2, and 3 times really quickly.
Thomas Fade away from the baseline, in and out. Meeks another rebound.
Got away with one. He went right into Meeks' chest, knocked him back.
Barry, the lob inside for Meeks, and count it to give Carolina a 5-point lead.
That was a little ball screen and then a screen for the screener. Nate Britt gave a little back screen for Kennedy Meeks. That got a switch, and all of a sudden Zach Showalter's got to guard Kennedy Meeks down the low post, and that ain't happening.
A block called on Brandon Robinson to the other end.
Here it is. Ball screen, and then watch Britt. He's going to set a back pick on Thomas, and that leaves Showalter underneath to try to guard Kennedy Meeks. He got no shot there. That's really good execution by North Carolina. You know it's coming. It's been scouted. Everybody knows that's what North Carolina does. They've been doing it forever. They just do it so well, and they're going to catch you with it. And it's like student body right back in the old days with USC. You know it's coming. Good luck stopping.
Happ getting as deep as he can and draws the foul. Ethan Happ, in 1 year plus 6 games now this year, has never made a shot from outside the paint as a member of the Badgers. Yet he's a tremendously effective player. You've talked about the footwork that he's got, and he's got a way of getting really close to the rim.
Great footwork, and also he does a really good job of using fakes. He doesn't go up right away. It's very rare that he's going to catch it underneath the basket or around the rim and go up right away. So you've got to be really disciplined as a defender and not leave the floor until he does to go up and try to block a shot. But that's where he needs to improve also. His free throw shooting, he's giving away points. He's got a really good touch, but he just doesn't look comfortable at the free throw line.
Comes into the game tonight at 50% on the season, and there he is with another steal, a carbon copy of the one we saw earlier. Hayes has it knocked away. Body's on the floor, and Hayes had it, but was he out of bounds, or are they going to call it a tie-up?
Boy, great job by Nate Britt diving on the floor there. By everybody, but Britt looked like he was first to the floor. How good is Ethan Happ at breaking contact and getting around in front? Seventh Woods knocked it away, and actually that was Isaiah Hicks. Gave Nate Britt the credit, but look how he breaks contact, gets around in front. Now he's got his arms on. Usually the referees call that a foul, but he's so quick when he does it, it's almost like they can't see it.
How often do you see a big guy lead a conference in steals? It doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, hardly ever.
And that's what Happ did last year in the Big Ten.
And he'll probably do it again this year.
And not a good look there by Brown.
Bad angle. Yeah. One more dribble over. That pass, even if he catches it, it's leading him out of bounds. If you take it to the wing, you can lead him to the basket. And you know, Greg Gard is saying that right now. Just that's a poor angle, bad pass.
So just 8 points in nearly 12 minutes for Wisconsin. Koenig is on the bench right now. Hayes is on the bench. But Carolina's not doing a whole lot of scoring either. 13-8.
And right now, North Carolina's beating Wisconsin at Wisconsin's pace. I mean, this pace is advantage Wisconsin.
Meeks. Tip back up and in, but wave it off. Basket interference.
Well, North Carolina's getting opportunities. They haven't been getting some of them to go down, but you keep pounding away inside, and sooner or later, they will go down. See, I happen to think that was a good play by Ethan Happ because he didn't get a foul called on him. But I think when you throw your chest into the offensive player like that, you got to protect the shooters. But he kept his arms up, and he's going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Boy, that's a tough drive. Tough look there for Iverson. Can't get it to go. And back comes Britt for the Tar Heels. Woods off to Hicks. Hicks pulls up from the foul line and buries it.
Well, how about that? He wasn't doing that 1 or 2 years ago. Catches the ball and then a one dribble pull up in the lane. That was really nice.
Showalter pressured by Britt and then Woods. Showalter the long jumper. 2. I think they're going to take a look at it at the timeout. Right now, they have said it's a 2, I believe, but they will take a look at that one in the next media timeout to see if it was a 2 or a 3. Now Happ with the rebound. Here comes Trice. Iverson the kick. Showalter behind the arc. And down with the rebound, Hicks. Nice look ahead to Woods. One-on-one with Trice, and he almost turned it over. Wisconsin fans thought he should have been called for the turnover.
If you mishandle, you're still able to pick it up.
Robinson, no. And the rebound down to Iverson. This may sound silly. You can have low-scoring games that are really ugly sometimes. This isn't an ugly game. They're just not putting. The pace is really good. They're just not putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, they're not making shots. Yeah. And the defense has been good on both sides.
Travel Showalter. Timeout on the floor. Hicks with a pull-up from the foul line to extend the Carolina lead. Showalter with the answer at the other end. They'll check. 2 or 3. It looks like another point will be on the board for Wisconsin when we come back. And they've got an extra point on the board. That Showalter shot that we showed you going to break changed from a 2 to a 3, so it's 15-11 North Carolina. 6:26 to go in the first half.
North Carolina scored 8 of their points in the paint. Now going to a box set.
How about this, Jay, for Wisconsin? Nigel Hayes, Ethan Happ, Bronson Koenig, scoreless. Not a point for any one of the 3 of them. What a move by Meeks.
Boy, Ethan Happ has showed some really good footwork, and Kennedy Meeks sees that footwork and raises it. Nicely done.
I hate to break this to you, Jay, but he's leaving your scoring mark in the dust right now. He has blown by you.
He's got a coach that lets him shoot.
He's up to 1,070 now, 8 of them tonight. Happ got Meeks in the air, and there's the first bucket for Ethan Happ.
And there's another fake. Nice little up fake. And Kennedy Meeks did not stay down on it. You cannot, and look, it's easier said than done, but you cannot leave the floor until Ethan Happ leaves the floor.
And now Kenny converted the line where it's been a struggle for him this season. 3-point play for Happ. And Wisconsin within 3.
This is going to be a grinder. This is Wisconsin's pace, and North Carolina has not been able to speed that pace.
Justin Jackson probing. Good anticipation by Happ to tip it away.
Leaving the floor to pass is never a good idea.
Carolina fans wanted a walk on Ilikainen. Happ over Hicks. No. Had it and lost it to Meeks.
Good job by Isaiah Hicks to just stay big and make Happ score over.
Deep one for Barry. Yes!
What an improvement. You know, now every time Joel Berry lets it go, you think it's going in. And the reason you think it's going in is because most of the time it does.
The ACC tournament most outstanding player last year and a member of the All-Final Four team as well. Hayes can't hit from outside. Meeks yet another rebound.
Well, right now Nigel Hayes has become strictly a perimeter player. He's not doing anything inside the paint.
And Barry from the elbow to extend the lead to 8. Greg Gard needs a timeout.
Now, isn't it funny? You take a bad shot, and I think that was a bad shot by Nigel Hayes in the corner. How a bad shot leads to an easy bucket on the other end. Joel Berry catches it. There's not a hand up, and he just drills it. And then in transition, after the corner 3 attempt by Nigel Hayes, Bronson Koenig not able to stop the ball. He really just used Ethan Happ as a little bit of a screen in the backcourt, came off of him and pulled up nicely, and all of a sudden North Carolina's got an 8-point cushion.
Another one of the great tournaments going on this week, the Battle for Atlantis, a part of Feast Week presented by Lowe's. It began today with Wichita State, Michigan State, and Baylor already winning. Old Dominion is playing Louisville now. We'll have the semifinals for you tomorrow on ESPN, including a good-looking matchup between the Spartans and the Bears.
Well, Baylor plays that zone, so Michigan State, they run a lot of different plays against zone.
What a graphic that is. Happ, Hayes, Koenig, the 3 leading scorers for Wisconsin. They've only got 3 points in this game. Happ's got them all. Koenig hasn't scored. Hayes hasn't scored. Koenig 21 and 20 in the first 2 games of the tournament for the Badgers. Now Hayes getting to the basket.
It's about time. And whether he's got Isaiah Hicks on him or Kennedy Meeks, Nigel Hayes needs to drive the ball. Now, it's not rocket science. If he's going to shoot jump shots, he's given an advantage to North Carolina. If he's going to attack the basket, then he's a much better player.
Jackson driving, can't get it to go. And it'll be out of bounds to Wisconsin. Timeout on the floor. Nigel Hayes. No jump shot here. All the way to the rim. His first points of the game. 6-point lead, North Carolina. Brick set, thank you. Low scoring game here in Maui. 22-16 North Carolina. Some numbers you don't often see. There have only been 3 free throws attempted in the game. All of them belong to Ethan Happ. There's only been 1 offensive rebound in the entire game, and it was a dead ball rebound that went to Carolina. Obviously no second chance points. There have been no fast break points for either team. It's a Wisconsin pace right now. Carolina with a 6-point lead, and Showalter will have to use a timeout.
Carolina went to its scramble defense, and as soon as the ball got on the sideline, there was a trap.
We'll be back momentarily. Carolina by 6. The championship game of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational here in, as luck would have it, Maui. Inside the Lahaina Civic Center, Dan Shulman and Jay Billis, Wisconsin and North Carolina. A low-scoring game. Wisconsin needed better than 7 minutes to score in this game. It's 22-16 Tar Heels late in the first half.
Nigel Hayes needs to drive this matchup.
They pick it out to Vito Brown. Now Thomas inside over Jackson. No. And great job by Bradley to get that rebound.
He just has fantastic hands. Keeps the ball so high on the offensive end when he gets it. Here's the guy that's got to step up. It's Justin Jackson. Has not had his best game thus far, and he's had a great tournament.
Boy, was he good last night against Oklahoma State. 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and no turnovers. And how about the soft touch there for Joel Berry?
I mean, he just took Nigel Hayes on, went right into his chest, and got a little jump hook over him. And Joel Berry's not afraid of anything.
Double figures now for Berry.
Good help by Tony Bradley, and then recovered to his matchup.
Showalter finds an open Brown. 15-footer is good.
Well, he is doing a nice job of setting screens, and then with a couple of slides, picking and popping and getting to an open area. Vito Brown has been really hard to guard.
Hicks isolated on Thomas, gives it back to Berry with 10 on the shot clock. Berry for 3. And the foul going against Hicks.
Great block out by Zach Showalter. Just stayed low. Here's Joel Berry going right into the chest of Nigel Hayes. Boy, that's a big-time play by a little guard. And then here's the pick and pop, just as Justin Jackson is trying to hedge out. He pops to the corner. Really got great separation. Sometimes guys will pick and pop and just take one little step. He took 2 big steps and got all the way down to the baseline, and Tony Bradley had to come off his man to try to get a hand up. That was really well done by Vito Brown.
Brown averages 6.4 points per game coming in. He's actually the high scorer in this game for Wisconsin with 5. They've only got 18. Screened by Happ to try to free up Showalter. Now Hayes.
He's got to drive it here.
Trying to drive Jackson. He gets to the baseline, but then picks up his dribble and then threw it out of bounds.
Well, that was, for a guy who's usually a really strong player, that was not a strong move.
And Greg Gard's taking him back to the bench, bringing Iverson in.
Going against a guy in Justin Jackson. He's much bigger than. He took two kind of dribbles right at his feet and picked his dribble up instead of just dribbling back out.
Jackson slithers inside, can't finish. Meeks down with another rebound. Tip back out to Britt.
Ethan Happ is so active.
And Jackson will get called for the foul as Happ steps in to take the charge and comes up a little bit gimpy.
Second time that Justin Jackson has left the floor in order to make a pass instead of just coming to a jump stop.
Happ okay. And Wisconsin with the ball down by 6, just over a minute and a half to go here in a very low scoring grinder, as you called it, Jay, of a first half here in Lahaina.
It's been like a fight where it's been nothing but body punches.
Yep. Jackson for 3. Meeks with his 10th rebound of the They get 11 rebounds for Kennedy Meeks.
How dare you short Kennedy Meeks a rebound?
Sorry, Kennedy.
Nobody put a body on Kennedy Meeks, and because Tony Bradley was so active, Vito Brown couldn't block out 2 Tar Heels. North Carolina's just relentless on the offensive glass. They keep coming at you.
Hey, it's rivalry weekend, and Saturday at noon Eastern on ABC, the 113th playing of the game. Number 3, Michigan. Number 2, Ohio State from the shoe in Columbus, in a college football playoff spot. Could hang in the balance.
Could hang in the balance. If Ohio State wins, they're going to the playoff.
Yeah, I just read what's on the card. There's a little TV secret for you there. A double-double in the first half for Kennedy Meeks. 10 points and 11 rebounds.
North Carolina's got so much experience. They got so many older players. And all that experience allows a freshman like Tony Bradley to come in and sit. Almost a great steal there by Nate Britt.
Iverson baseline off to Hat. Backing down, Bradley scores over it. He's kind of relentless down there in the post, isn't he?
He's just got a Kevin McHale feel to his game, doesn't he, offensively? His footwork is unbelievable, even on defense.
Floater by Britt.
Big possession here for Wisconsin. Got to get a score.
Koenig short on the 3. Rebound number 12 for Meeks.
North Carolina can hold it for the last shot. Roy Williams holding up his index finger, and I don't think it's just to say we're number 1. I think he wants 1 shot, and that's it. And they want to get it up with a couple of seconds left to give them an opportunity for an offensive board. Here comes the high screen.
Berry off to Jackson, and he is fouled on a 3-point attempt by Nigel Hayes.
Nigel Hayes is one of the smartest players on the floor. And in this game, he has made a lot of decisions that have been less than smart. That was a really bad foul. That's going to put Justin Jackson at the line for 3 free throws.
What a tough 20 minutes it has been for Nigel Hayes. Jackson 89% from the line on the young season. Hayes is 1 for 6, 2 points, and just committed a foul to send Jackson to the line for 3.
And the other thing you're doing is Justin Jackson has not gotten anything to go down in this game. And the last thing you want to do when a really good player on an opposing team is having a rough night, don't foul him and let him watch the ball go through the net 3 times. And now all of a sudden Justin Jackson's feeling a heck of a lot better than he did before.
Hayes. And Carolina will take its largest lead of the game to the locker room at halftime, up by 9, 29-20. Thanks to Lahaina Luau right here inside the Lahaina Civic Center. A little local flavor here on the beautiful island of Maui. North Carolina leading Wisconsin 29-20 in a low-scoring first half here for the championship game at the Maui Gym. Maui Invitational. Not a lot of offense, but some good performances in the first half, mostly for the Tar Heels. Meeks was really terrific.
Kennedy Meeks had a double-double in the first half, and Joel Berry, his guard, had 10 points as well, knocking down a couple of threes. He was 2 of 3, while the Tar Heels was 2 of 9 from 3-point range. North Carolina shot 38% from the field in that first half, and Kennedy Meeks was a big reason why it was so high. He was 4 of 5 from the field, had 12 rebounds, 10 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 block in 15 minutes. He was excellent in the first half.
Both of them with 10 points, Meeks with a big half, and for Wisconsin, they shot only 30% of the first half. Bronson Koenig 0 for 5, didn't score, no points. Nigel Hayes 1 for 6, 2 points, and a costly foul in the last minute of the first half that gave Justin Jackson 3 free throws.
Yeah, that foul by Nigel Hayes was not an intelligent play. It should have been, I'm sure they thought it should have been 6 points going into halftime. Instead, it's 9. And there have not been a lot of offensive rebounds in this game, and not been a lot of fouls. Both teams have played good defense without fouling.
Wisconsin does not have a single offensive rebound in the game. Carolina's got 3. There has not been a single fast break bucket in this game.
Nigel Hayes looks to drive this matchup and get the ball inside a little bit more. How about showing inside Zach Showalter posting up?
The 6'3" senior Zach Showalter with a bucket to bring Wisconsin back within 7.
You've really got to be alert when you're passing anywhere around Ethan Happ, because he is very active and very smart defensively.
Hicks with a long jumper, showing good range.
He's such a good player, staying on the floor longer. He had a lot of foul trouble last year. I think he would have played even more minutes last year if he stayed out of foul trouble.
Koenig, his first points of the night. It took Wisconsin over 7 minutes to make a bucket at the beginning of the game. They've got 2 field goals already here in the first minute 15 or so of the second half.
See if North Carolina can get the ball inside. It is difficult to get it inside against Happ. You've got to come back as a big guy. You better come back to a post pass. They've thrown away a couple trying to get it to him.
Nice catch by Hicks, the assist to Jackson.
That time Justin Jackson went straight up. He's turned it over 3 times in that first half. A couple times on post passes, or 1 time on a post pass that Ethan Happ picked off, and then leaving the floor. I used to say leave your feet. I don't say that anymore. Because your feet go with you.
Right.
You leave the floor.
Well, as you told me during halftime, you once thought you made a mistake, but you were wrong.
Yeah, I never made a mistake.
Down to Kenny Williams. 9-point lead, Carolina. Championship game of the Jim Maui Invitational. And it will stay with the Tar Heels. Zach Showalter is saying Barry actually deflected it, but to no avail.
It's remarkable, as good an offensive rebounding team as Wisconsin has been, that they've not been able to muster a single second shot opportunity in this game.
They had 20 offensive rebounds last night against Georgetown. Meeks with a double-double in the first half. Now Hicks.
Wisconsin does such a good job of staying home on defense. Got a switch here.
Barry with a reverse, and the rebound down to Hayes.
They just make you make a tough shot. Nice foul on Williams.
Koenig forcing the issue, and he draws the foul.
Anytime you get that arm bar out, the referees are going to call it. If that's chest-to-chest contact, you got a chance.
Greg Gard, a longtime assistant under Bo Ryan at a variety of places the last 15 years or so at Wisconsin before he took over in December of last year. Had the interim label removed later on in the season. Hayes for 3. Man, did he need that one. 6-point game. Jackson all the way to the goal.
What? He was like a running back that was taking it to the outside and sees a hole and immediately cuts back. That was a great move by Justin Jackson.
And his first field goal of the game. Koenig short on the 3. Loose ball down to the Tar Heels.
I just don't think Wisconsin's very good shooting off of no passes.
Boy, Williams stopped on a dime to avoid a travel. Now cross court to Jackson. Tough one on the baseline, but he's fouled.
Watch Justin Jackson as he's taking the ball from the right to the left, just sees an opening and immediately tears right to the basket and gets all the way to the 10 to kiss that off the glass. He has not had his best game in this one, but he's so versatile. I think one of the most underrated players in the country.
So the Julius Erving watch list. That's a watch list for the top small forwards in the country. Jackson, a junior now, coming off a great game last night against Oklahoma State.
All those awards now at that Wendy's Wooden Award show, they're named after some of the greatest players. They're all still living, so the living legend gives you the award.
That's
it is
cool.
so cool. It's
That's
so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you win the Naismith Award, it's pretty cool, but he's not around anymore.
Barry knocks down a 3, and it's a 10-point lead, largest of the game for Carolina.
If Carolina wins this tournament, I don't think there's much question who the MVP is. Joel Barry has been fabulous. Great cut.
Showalter to Happ.
Kennedy Meeks just got on the high side of Ethan Happ. I'm not sure exactly why, but Happ took advantage of it.
Boy, Jackson with a full head of steam. Can't finish the runner. Hicks will. No basket. The foul before the shot.
That was it before the shot. He kept the ball high. And he went right back up with it. Unless he called it on.
Hawaii, the sun beginning to set on this tournament. A champion will be crowned in this game tonight. North Carolina leading Wisconsin by 8.
The only way this tournament could be any better would be if the Lahaina Civic Center had a retractable roof.
That'd be nice. Or we wouldn't mind if maybe they spaced the game over, you know, say a month.
Yeah, exactly.
3 days, so.
Exactly. Give the teams a month off in between games. Nice hesitation.
And the finish for Barry.
Well, he's a big-time guard. You know, we watched Oklahoma State's Jawan Evans, who is so good with ball screens, and that was just a fabulous hesitation move. And you know, Wisconsin guards ball screens a little bit differently with their big guys than most. They don't come up and give a hard hedge or, you know, ice it or anything. They lay back, and that means you can pull up for a mid-range jump shot, or with that hesitation. Ultimately, Ethan Happ had to get back to his man, or he's going to roll all the way to the basket. And Joel Berry hesitated, took advantage of that. That was a great move by Joel Berry.
11-point lead, North Carolina.
Got a foul on Berry. Oftentimes, you know, it's easy for me to say sitting over here, but when you go after the ball for a steal with both hands against a big guy, you're not going to get that foul call. When you reach with one, oftentimes you'll get that called.
Nate Britt into the game for the first time in the second half here for North Carolina. Khalil Iverson has checked in for Wisconsin. Inbounds pass deflected, but Happ recovers. And then Britt, who was lying on the court at the time, got called for the foul as he impeded Happ.
Britt was like a defensive back there that, you know, was trying to find the ball. When it was tipped, you know, he knew it was going that way, but he couldn't quite corral it. In North Carolina, you know, they have this 11-point lead, but you know, they're ahead in just about every category, but by just a little bit. I mean, they've out-rebounded Wisconsin and held them without a second shot, which is really remarkable. But every other category just barely ahead.
Mismatch inside. Meeks comes over to help. Open man is Iverson. Up and under, can't finish, and another rebound for Meeks.
But how about Barry and Britt inside playing tough, even though they're smaller?
Hicks, yes.
Really good pass. Led Hicks right to the basket. Hicks got the angle. Ilikainen was on the top side. That's just really good basketball by North Carolina.
Koenig no, and Meeks down with yet another rebound. He just tied his career high with 15 boards.
Wisconsin's not really running any half-court offense. That's I don't know how many times Bronson Koenig has taken a shot without making a pass.
And again, that is un-Wisconsin-like.
It's certainly un-Koenig-like, but it's becoming a trend in this game.
Jackson. And Happ keeps Meeks on his back so he can grab the rebound.
And that wasn't a great shot by Justin Jackson either.
How about Kennedy Meeks making plays?
We saw Ethan Happ doing it and raises him one. Now, Kennedy Meeks got a bunch of steals last year. I think there was a time early in the season when he was leading the ACC in steals.
Shot clock at 10. Nate Britt with the ball for the Tar Heels.
Got to get a high screen here. Here it is.
Screen from Hicks. Got the switch. Britt over Hayes. And Wisconsin ball.
Happ is open. He needs to get the ball sooner.
Happ guarded by Hicks and called for the travel.
He needed to get that ball right away. He was wide open under the basket. And then they waited till he was outside the lane to pass it to him. Now watch Kennedy Meeks here. Now he's been getting this done to him a couple times by Ethan Happ. That time he broke contact to get around in front. And Ilikainen fronting out top. And when you're in a front, weak side help had better be there. And that was just a great pass. Not enough pressure on the ball to take away vision.
Robinson back into the game for the Tar Heels. Now Meeks with Thomas on his back. Turnaround, yes.
Just the clinic. They ran a little back screen for the screener to get Tony Bradley into the low post. It wasn't there. They reversed it and got Kennedy Meeks in the low post.
12 points, 15 rebounds already for Kennedy Meeks.
They are just pounding away at Wisconsin. Why do you take a jump? Even if that goes in, that's a bad shot. You got Kennedy Meeks on you. Drive it.
First offensive rebound of the game for Wisconsin, and then they turn it over.
Well, Nigel Hayes is a really good player, but this has not been a good performance by him.
Trice called for the foul.
It's been a question really of decision making. And Nigel Hayes' advantage over Kennedy Meeks is quickness. And why would you take a jump shot when Kennedy Meeks is right on you when you can just give a little shot fake and drive him?
Now, Wisconsin heavily dependent, of course, on their two seniors, or two of their seniors, specifically Hayes and Koenig, and neither one of them having anything close to a vintage game for them, or even a typical game for them.
Well, and you give most of that credit to North Carolina. I think this is a really good defensive team, the Tar Heels. They are solid in every respect.
Robinson kept it alive, and Kennedy Meeks keeps piling up the numbers for the Tar Heels. Carolina fans erupting here in Lahaina. Kennedy Meeks hitting the deck, making a play at the defensive end. Kennedy Meeks with a turnaround jumper. And then how about the last play as well? The loose ball to the big fella, and he puts it in again.
Gun show
From the Bahamas.
And Michigan State may need some of our Maui Jim sunglasses because of the glare off of Baylor's uniforms.
Yes. I mean, if the lights go out, if there's some sort of an issue inside the ballroom that serves as the court down there, follow Baylor to freedom.
North Carolina is winning every category. Points in the paint, 24-10 Carolina. Points off turnovers, 8-0 Carolina. Second chance points, 7-0 Carolina. They can play at their pace, which is a fast pace, and they can play at Wisconsin's pace, a slower pace.
They're on a 10-0 run right now. Hayes spinning by Robinson, fouled by Meeks.
Nigel Hayes went into the post where he had an advantage over Robinson. Got away with a hook there. Now, he hooked him with his left arm as he spun by. But he took advantage of a matchup advantage, which he has not been doing most of the game. Let's take a look at the hook right here. Watch his left arm. Like, that's a hook. The referees just missed it. Usually they would call that, and that put Kennedy Meeks in the position of having a foul.
And 1 of 2 for Hayes. Wisconsin just 2 of 5 from the line. Carolina hasn't been there a lot either, just 6 times, but they've made all 6.
I can't remember the last time where a team didn't get an offensive rebound, although they do have one. Khalil Iverson got one.
Bradley has it rejected. 7-foot sophomore Andy Van Vliet from Belgium into the game now for Wisconsin. He can shoot it. Misses the 3. And this is going to be out of bounds to Carolina. Greg Gard has brought in Van Vliet. He's brought in Jordan Hill, who hasn't played much in this tournament. And now he'll send Showalter back into the game, trying to search for a combination that can maybe get Wisconsin on a bit of a run.
And also to get some rest for his main guys to make a final push. Because I don't think Wisconsin can win this game with Bronson Koenig on the bench. He's going to have to step forward, as will Nigel Hayes and Ethan Happ, if they want a chance to win this. I mean, it's a pretty, being down 17 in this pace of game to Carolina, that's a pretty big deficit.
They were down 6 with the ball in the last minute of the first half. Down 17, make it 19 now, as again Jackson finds his way right to the rim.
If North Carolina moves the ball, they're going to have driving opportunities, and Justin Jackson has been much more aggressive putting the ball on the deck.
Showalter into Hayes. One-on-one with Hicks. Can't get a shot off.
Hicks did a nice job of staying down. Wouldn't go for a fake.
Koenig with 7 to shoot. The kick to Thomas. Koenig, baseline turnaround, well short, and a shot clock violation on the Badgers. 10th turnover committed by Wisconsin as Vito Brown and Ethan Happ come back into the game now for the Badgers.
North Carolina's winning this game with their defense. It's been really impressive. This is an excellent defensive team. And I've said, I think this is the best team in the country.
They beat Chaminade 104-61 on Monday. They beat Oklahoma State 107-75 last night. Tonight, a much different kind of game, but they've been just as impressive.
Well, this team doesn't have the firepower of last year's team with the Bryce Johnson on it. Oh, what a play by Seventh Woods.
Woods turned it over, then Woods made up for it at the other end. Koenig inside, left hand no, tip no. And we've got a foul underneath going against Carolina.
Seventh Woods is an outstanding athlete. Made a bad guard-to-guard pass, and Bronson Koenig going to lay it up, but Seventh Woods just pins it off the backboard. What a spectacular play. Saving a bucket.
At the line, Vito Brown.
I was mentioning before about North Carolina. They don't have a 20-point, 10 rebound a game guy like they had in Bryce Johnson. But I think at this point in the season, this year's team is better than last year's team was.
Which is amazing. You think you lose a Johnson and a Marcus Page and you're going to take a step back, but is Meeks better? Is Jackson better? Is Hicks better?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Williams is better.
Yeah.
Everybody else is better. Nate Britt is better.
Yeah.
And then you add in Tony Bradley, who's been really just terrific early on. Should have touched it.
Meeks can do that, but he overshot the runway there. Remember the game, I think it was against Louisville 2 or 3 years ago. He had a bunch of assists, and he had a few like that. Nice catch by Dave Odom, a tournament chair down at the other end under the far basket.
Former head coach did such a great job at Wake Forest and South Carolina. Was an assistant to Terry Holland for many years at Virginia.
Championship game of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational with Jay Billis. I'm Dan Shulman. Vito Brown knocks down the three. Wisconsin in a desperate search for offense wherever they can get it. Look at Bradley running the court for a big man.
It's like the old-time Celtics. You make a basket, and if you're in any way jogging down court, they beat you the other way. The pass ahead by Seventh Woods, and how about that catch by Tony Bradley?
Seventh Woods giving Carolina some good minutes off the bench. Joel Berry getting a bit of a breather for Carolina. Bradley at the line.
These tremendous numbers for a first-year player. Double figures in every game. Shooting 70% from the field. The top freshman rebounder in the ACC.
11.5 points per game, Jay, in 18 minutes per game. And what a rotation Roy Williams has up front right now with Meeks, Hicks, and Bradley, and almost always two of them in the game.
A lot of teams are going with smaller lineups. They got to stretch forward. Carolina's going to play their big guys, and they're going to play inside out and pound you inside.
Happ nearly with a steal, but here comes Woods. Meeks having one of the best games of his career, finds Britt. Britt gets it back, fortunate to do so.
Took a look up at the clock, realized he had plenty of time.
Woods the drive and the kick. Jackson for three.
And that's one way to slow down your opponent's fast break, is get the net stuck when you knock down a three.
A 20-point lead for North Carolina.
Good drive that drew everybody right into the lane. It was one drive by Britt, a throwback, then another by Seventh Woods. And then the kick out to Justin Jackson. That's beautiful basketball.
Hayes with a long two. Berry back into the game with the Tar Heels.
Back screen got a switch. Now Nigel Hayes guarding inside.
Carolina has not been in a hurry, playing at Wisconsin's pace, but playing a lot better than the Badgers so far. Little handoff for Jackson. The ball's on the deck, still loose, and it belongs to the Badgers.
One of the relatively few turnovers by North Carolina this second half.
And Showalter didn't have too far, but it evidently was tipped by Bradley, and the ruling on the court is it'll be Wisconsin ball when we come back.
Didn't look like he touched it.
We'll get another look going to break. 7:28 to go. Wisconsin needs all the breaks they can get to try to get back into this game. The North Carolina Tar Heels have been flexing their muscles tonight against Wisconsin. Kennedy Meeks and company with a big lead here in the second half. They're up 18 points on the Badgers. It took Wisconsin better than 7 minutes to make a shot in this game. How about Carolina? They haven't trailed for a single second in this tournament.
And they've been dominant in the second half of this game. I mean, North Carolina is shooting about 56% in the second half. They have held Wisconsin to 35%. Not one Badger has hit double figures in this game.
Happ is fouled by Meeks.
I don't know what he did. He was just standing there. But
third on Meeks, who's having a great game. 15 points, 16 rebounds.
You can see the fouls, 6-6. Neither team has gotten into the 1-and-1 yet in the game. And while people are saying, hey, you know, this emphasis on fouls and everything, if you don't foul, the officials don't call it. Neither one of these teams fouls defending. They both make you make a tough shot.
Britt using the screen, now finds Williams down to Meeks. Jumper.
Nice.
Baseline jumper wouldn't go from 12 feet. Down to the rebound, Showalter.
Just a little step back move by Kennedy Meeks. A soft touch, just didn't go in.
Playing with a lot of confidence, isn't he?
And rightfully so.
Not every day you surpass Jay Billis's career scoring.
Yeah, this is a big day for Kennedy Meeks, huh?
Hayes for three. And an uncontested rebound for Britt.
If at first you don't succeed, quit doing it. Yeah, I just really think, I hate to harp on it, but I think he needs to take advantage of matchup advantages he's got and drive the ball.
He's only done it on a couple of occasions. Had one resounding dunk in the first half doing it, then didn't go back to it.
Yeah, and it's the same guys that are guarding him when he made that move.
Britt has it knocked away by Koenig with 2 on the shot clock. Now the big game's coming your way Saturday noon Eastern on ABC. Number 3 Michigan, number 2 Ohio State from the Shoe in Columbus. And a college football playoff spot, Jay Billis says, will be on the line, not could be on the line.
I think it's absolutely on the line. Always have to watch for a lob here with North Carolina.
Just 2 to shoot.
There it is.
Hicks the catch and the finish. Not a lot Koenig could do on that play.
Well, you just have to communicate because you know it's coming. These guys scouted this game. They played North Carolina before.
Another steal for Meeks.
He just happed Ethan Happ. Ethan Happ did that to him in the first half. Now Kennedy Meeks doing it to him.
Runner for Jackson.
Boy, I did not see this kind of spread coming. Wisconsin got its tempo, and North Carolina has beaten Wisconsin at its own game. They can beat you at their tempo for sure. Everybody knows that. But they can beat you at yours too, and that's really saying something.
And nothing falling from the outside for Wisconsin. Tough game for Hayes and Koenig, 2 great players who have had rough nights.
Well, they've relied so much on the jump shot. I mean, the game against Creighton that Wisconsin lost, they launched up, what, 39 threes?
Yep.
And Greg Gard said after the game he'd watched the tape and thought it was only 37, but it was still a bunch of bad shots. And Justin Jackson on that drive, he's made a lot of really good drives in this game. An underrated player that has just gotten better and better through his time at North Carolina.
So many different weapons for this team, whether it's Jackson, Meeks, Hicks at the line right now, Barry, of course. And they're doing this without Theo Pinson, who's out with a broken foot right now. the struggles for the top three players on the Wisconsin team, Happ, Hayes, and Koenig. You know, you think about Pinson coming back at some point during conference play, they hope. You think about Luke May adding depth to the front court. He's out with a sprained ankle right now.
Yeah, even shorthanded, they've been the best team, and Kentucky is outstanding. They're going to get better and better. But right now, this is a team of veterans that it is going to be really hard to get them off their game. But nobody's going to go undefeated, I don't think. But this team is going to be really hard to beat.
Vito Brown now with a dozen to lead the Badgers. Hicks on the drive. Nice pass. Brantley the finish.
This is a complete basketball team. And that's a move that last year Isaiah Hicks would not have made. He's a much improved player. He was an outstanding player last year. He is even better now.
Hicks stays in front of Hayes. Happ to a wide open Brown. And Vito Brown has made 4 threes in this game. He's been by far the best offensive player for the Badgers. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:10 to go. Carolina's that far away from a tournament championship.
And Raymond Felton reminds me of what Paul Biancardi, our recruiting analyst, told me recently, and that's Raymond Felton's nephew, the number 24 prospect in the country, Jalen Felton, is coming to North Carolina. Combo guard that's really athletic and an aggressive scorer and playmaker.
Inside 4 minutes to go, and the Tar Heels 20 points up on Wisconsin.
Carolina has dominated the paint, 32-10 over Wisconsin.
How many times have we seen Joel Berry do exactly that? Use the screen and pull up at the elbow for a jumper in this tournament.
Yeah, if you're not going to attack him off that ball screen, he's going to waltz right off it like he did and step right into a shot. He's used a hesitation move and waited for, at one time, where he waited for Ethan Happ to recover to his man. And then he grabs a rebound.
Hayes made a good move, sorry, Jay, but he just couldn't finish there.
And now North Carolina can use some clock, salt this thing away.
Berry inside for 2 more.
They're just toying with Wisconsin now.
Toying with a pretty good team.
A pretty good team. Yeah, Wisconsin is a good team. I'm just impressed that, you know, it's one thing when North Carolina gets its tempo like it did against Oklahoma State, where they can operate at that high speed. But for them to shift down to a lower gear and dominate like this, that's really, really impressive. Joel Berry taking on the secondary defender. It doesn't matter what defender. He's 2 steals, 2 assists, and a career-high 16 rebounds. What a performance by Kennedy Meeks.
Demetric Trice at the line for Wisconsin.
Another thing about Kennedy Meeks, he looks like he's in great condition. You know, there's never a time in this tournament where he has looked for 1 second winded or tired.
Well, we talked about it in a different context last night. Sometimes you get to that senior season, a little extra urgency kicks in. You realize it's the last year you've got at the collegiate level, and you turn it up a notch, whether it's diet and nutrition in the off season or just a bigger sense of urgency during games.
And part of it, though, was he was injured a good bit last year. And when you're not healthy, it was tough for him to get a rhythm established. Once you get hurt early in the season and you're out, boy, it's tough to catch up.
Berry finishes and is fouled. What a tournament he's had.
He's just a great college guard. Not to say he's not going to play beyond this, but I'm just looking at college. He's a great college guard. Plays with great pace. He's a terrific leader, and he plays at both ends of the floor. Another little hesitation move, then takes on the secondary defender. Thomas goes right into the contact and is able to finish the play. It's one thing to get the foul, but he finishes the play. And I'm so jealous of that hair. Man, is that nice.
And he won the dance contest at the Luau a few nights ago. He's had himself quite a few days.
Yeah, you seemed very disappointed that you didn't make the our dance team, and where Walton and I were dancing with the Maui Luau crew.
I'm not sure that's the right word. The right
Look, if you're not good enough, you're just not good enough.
Fair
you're in
point.
the JV dance squad.
Fair point.
This is not that's not a hula.
He advanced through the hula round to the semifinals, where they narrowed it down from 8 players to 4. And then Joel Berry was named the winner of the dance contest back on Sunday night. But he's probably much more excited about what his team is about to win, and he could walk out of here with the most valuable player of this tournament. Wouldn't be a surprise to anybody.
Well, it's going to be a fight with Kennedy Meeks over it.
Berry stepping into a bigger role last year and an even bigger role this year on this team, and growing into that role. Looks like he's perfectly comfortable doing so.
Well, he's been the leader of this team, but he's got a bunch of junior and senior leaders with him. This is kind of an old school team that's older.
Happ with another steal, and he will finish. 69-49, but just a minute 35 to go, and a timeout to make some subs. They won't take a lot of time. They'll just get right back to the action after the changes, and huge ovations for some of the big stars of tonight's game for Carolina as they come out for the last time. Stay tuned for SportsCenter after the game tonight, after the Timberwolves and Pelicans on ESPN. Bucci and Anderson will have everything you need to know from all around the world of sports. And great scene over on the Carolina benches. Meeks comes out, Hicks comes out, Berry comes out. And a lot of these folks who came from North Carolina to Hawaii enjoyed more than the weather here the last few days. They saw their team play at an incredibly high level, especially, Jay, for this early in the season.
Yeah, this is a complete basketball team that is playing really, really well. And I'll say it again, I think at this point in the season, they've turned it over the last couple times. Roy Williams not happy about it. At this point in the season, and it's early, but at this point in the season, this North Carolina team's better than last year's North Carolina team,
which was 1 bucket away from winning a national championship.
Ultimately. And that team improved immeasurably throughout the year.
Yeah. This one is starting off at an incredibly high level. Happ with a block. Happ playing hard right down to the last seconds here tonight. Running the floor, takes the feed from Hill and lays it in for 2 more. And once again, we'll have a stoppage just to get some more subs into the game as both coaches dip a little bit deeper into their bench here with 47 seconds to play.
Stillman White, who number 30, came into the game the other night, really helped North Carolina. Came in the first half and made some really good plays. Had 5 points in that one, which was a career high.
Shea Rush with a bucket. Preferred walk-on, the son of Jaron Rush, who played at UCLA. And one of the officials pretended to have a shoelace undone, blew the whistle just so Wisconsin could make one last change.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
To get Matt Ferris into the game. That's what Greg Gard wanted. So Earl Walton obliged and pretended his shoelace needed tying. And Roy Williams is smiling. He's thumbs up down to the official.
That is
Greg Gard.
awesome.
Yep. Everybody's on board. Let's see if they can get Ferris a shot. Tar Heel fans making some noise, and they've got a right to do so. Their team was outstanding from start to finish here in Maui. How about Brevin Pritzel banking in a 3? But the big story is North Carolina. What a performance by the Tar Heels over the last 3 days. What a game for Kennedy Meeks. What a tournament for Joel Berry. And what a way to start the season for the Tar Heels. They are 7-0, and they are the champions of the Maui Jim Maui Invitational.
And there was never a time when North Carolina was not the best team here. I don't think they trailed for a moment in this tournament.
You're correct. They did not trail for 1 second in this tournament. They played fast, they played slow, and they played great all the way throughout the tournament, and deserving champions to say the least. As they win the Maui Invitational for the 4th time. Roy Williams has won it for the 4th time, 3 times with Carolina, once with Kansas. It's going to be a happy trip back to the mainland for the Tar Heels. For the Badgers, a good tournament, a good team, but they were soundly beaten here in the championship game, and they'll have some regrouping to do, some lessons to learn as they head into the next